Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. Well, it's June 1st. If you can believe that, we're pushing halfway through the year already. Which is a interesting concept because we're halfway through the year. And if we don't get something straightened out with the tax code, we're all going to be paying a whole lot more money in taxes come the end of the year. You know, remember, this is when the Trump tax cuts from his first term expire. And this is why we're hearing all these stories about the big, beautiful bill. Okay? There's stuff in it I like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff in it that is bullshit. Like, well, you know what? We're not going to cut spending. We're going to grow our way out of the debt. Got it. Okay. You know exactly what Washington's going to do. We're going to get all this growth, hopefully. Cool, we have more money to spend. It won't go toward debt service. It'll go toward more bullshit projects. Let's talk about one of them specifically. Now, we know the bill has passed the House, and the Senate has already said the House bill's not going to pass here. So this is now the back and forth. The Senate's going to pass something else, then the House has got to look at the Senate bill, and until the two houses can come up with something they both agree on, we go back and forth. And Trump is hoping this is done by July 9th. You know, so this becomes interesting. So, of course, we have a few of the typical rhinos that are saying they're going to vote against it. I mean, of course, all the Democrats are. I mean, Trump could cure cancer and the Democrats would vote against it. But so we have one in particular, Lindsey Graham, who's up for re-election in 2026, by the way, guys. And I would highly, highly advise the people of South Carolina to look at going to the primaries. You know, you've got a candidate by the name of Mark Lynch, who is a Republican businessman who is very conservative, not a rhino at all, at least from his past and his record from what we can see. He's running against Lindsey Graham. South Carolina, please show up at the primaries because normally only about 10% of you do. Lindsey's got to go. And you want to talk about why? Okay, let's go into this. The big, beautiful bill. Lindsey Graham has said he's a no on the bill. Why? Well, one of the things he's put in his version of it to go through the Senate is an extra, get this, $48 billion to give to Ukraine. Now, the Pentagon just came out and said that they can't account for $6 billion that they've already given to Ukraine. So Lindsey wants to give 8 times that to Zelensky and say, here, let's go. Now I have another question here. Did this happen in the middle of the night that we all didn't know that Marco Rubio stepped down as Secretary of State and Trump appointed Lindsey Graham? Because this week, for the 9th time, Lindsey Graham has made a trip to Ukraine to go meet Zelensky. This time he went with Dick Blumenthal. That should tell you everything you need to know. If we're sending Stolen Valor Dick to Ukraine as your compatriot, I'm not thinking you're on our side. Okay. But give you this. Graham went to Ukraine for the 9th time. South Carolina borders North Carolina. Want to guess how many times Lindsey Graham has gone to, Western North Carolina over the victims of Hurricane Helene? That would be 0. Want to give $48 billion to Ukraine, Lindsey, but you don't want to do anything for the people in your neighboring state. Think about this. So 9 times going over there as a senator who thinks he's Secretary of State, making diplomatic decisions. What's he going over there doing? I don't know. Threatening China would be one of them. I mean, yesterday, or actually Friday, Graham threatened China and said, mind you, he's a senator, not Secretary of State, not speaking for the president. If China doesn't stop buying Russian oil, we're going to put 500% tariffs on China. Really, Lindsey? Where'd that come from? Because the last time I heard, Trump and Xi are negotiating and have a 90-day pause on it, on any tariffs. And nowhere have we ever got anywhere near 500%. When did you start dictating policy? Oh, only when you can pad your pockets. And of course, Zelensky was always more than willing to have Lindsey Graham show up because, chances are he's coming in with suitcases full of cash. It's kind of hard to get pallets full of cash like, they did with Iran. Back in 2016, Zelensky did a comedy special. This is before he was president. And he was making jokes about Poroshenko, the former president, and his time as an actor in a TV show where he was portraying the president. I wanted to show you the clip here, but as I tried to do it, of course, it was a copyright violation, so I couldn't do it. So what I'm going to do, pause the video here. Underneath, in the description here, there's a link to that video. Go watch it from the 2-minute and 16-second point to the 4-minute and 26-second point. So a little more than 2 minutes, all right? But it's very important to watch that to know exactly what he's doing. He was making jokes about it 9 years ago, and now it's his policy. Go watch this, and then we'll come back. You give us money. We never give it back. That's the Ukrainian way. And for some reason, we have politicians in Washington that are totally okay with this. There's only one reason why. There isn't another one. I'm sorry, you cannot give me any other reason. Is that money goes over in a full suitcase, and a little bit of it comes back in a kind of full suitcase. I mean, remember this. When Congress comes back, when any politician comes back from overseas, their luggage isn't checked. So if it's got a bunch of cash in it, Customs doesn't know. Diplomatic immunity, okay? But no, Lindsey Graham isn't Secretary of State. He just thinks he is. Now, the funny part is, Donald Trump, of course, always endorses Lindsey Graham and has for 2026. And you think about this, go, why would Trump endorse Lindsey Graham? Because Lindsey Graham is, the biggest fish that on dry land there is. They called Mitt Romney a flip-flopper. Lindsey Graham is crazy. Remember, this is the guy who tried to crucify Trump over January 6th, who is a fair-weather friend. When he's getting something he wants, great. But when it's something that somebody else wants and Lindsey's not pulling the strings, nope. He's going to be anti-conservative. He'll vote with the Democrats, the whole 9 yards. Right? No problem. Just like he's doing here. So why does Trump endorse him? Well, the elections aren't for another, now that we started June, so another 17 months. And then Congress doesn't get seated till January 1st of 2027. So you have another 19 months at this point where Lindsey Graham, barring him getting hit by a truck, is going to be in the Senate. Trump's trying to get a lot of stuff done in the next almost 2 years. He needs Lindsey Graham. I would bet that Trump says, I'll endorse you, but he ain't going to help him, okay? Because Trump does not want Lindsey Graham to win, because Lindsey Graham is, poison. He's the cancer in Congress. So you look and go, okay, I got to say this because I need to have 50% of your support for the next 2 years. I can't say I'm against you because then Lindsey Graham turns into Mitch McConnell and says, gee, you know what? No matter what the administration wants, I'm going to vote against it. Kind of like Mitch McConnell. Okay. Thank God Mitch is retiring. We can get rid of him. We got to get rid of Lindsey Graham. Hey, Texas, while you're at it, get rid of John Cornyn. That would be a real good idea, too, because he's up for re-election and he's cut from the same cloth. But this is what we've got going on. They want $48 billion more money to piss away in Ukraine. I've said many times, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't care about Ukraine. I don't take Russia's side in this thing. I don't care. Let them fight it out. This is their damn problem. Gee, I'm sorry, Ukraine, you got, 300 and some odd billion dollars worth of stuff already? And you aren't going to win this, no matter what you do. So sit down at the damn table, shut up, accept the peace deal, lick your wounds, and go. You aren't getting American troops. That's the other thing Zelensky wanted this week. He said he wants American troops in Ukraine under the rule of Kyiv, like he's already got French troops. Okay? No. You want to see this country completely explode? I'm talking to civilians around here. Let one American get sent over there and killed for a war we have no business being in. We have a war that we have no business funding. And we have a wannabe comedian who's a joke in himself, more than happy to kill your kids, your grandkids, so he can line his pockets. He joked about it and said this was the policy of the past president. Funny, because it sure as hell seems like it's the policy of the present president, too. Pinball out.